Got a bonus video for you guys tonight talking about the debacle that was Xbox FanFest 2020, at least the inaugural event. And I have to say, before we get started, I will always applaud Microsoft for doing these events, for taking time and resources and hosting anything for the fans. It will always be appreciated, and that will never change for me. And although I'm definitely much more of a Sony guy than an Xbox guy, I have to say that Microsoft is an incredible company, and they are definitely driven towards helping out their fans and making cool experiences for their fans. Unfortunately, FanFest 2020 was a total shit show. And I have to give credit to Ethan and Malik, who were the hosts, who basically had to sit and do impromptu discussion for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, trying to keep the event going, trying to keep people engaged in chat, despite the fact that the world was falling around them, at least the virtual world. The idea was this: FanFest has been deleted in this capacity this year, unfortunately, largely due to COVID. But Microsoft, being a really fan-focused company, honestly, and I really do believe that with Xbox, I truly honestly do, decided to do a virtual event. So to get excitement and hype up for people who registered, the first 25,000 people who registered for FanFest this year were going to be entered into a special game. And the game was to take place tonight. That's October 23rd, 2020 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The idea was that everybody would log in and there would be some sort of trivia game to accompany a live stream presentation with guests and surprises and giveaways and that sort of thing. Basically everything FanFest has ever been. Just a fun event for people to get together. And obviously when you get 25,000 people in a single chat room, hijinks ensue. That's exactly what happened. So what the idea was you were supposed to log in on your phone and participate in this game. Most of us, my wife, who was sitting behind me, was able to log in without an issue. I was able to log in without an issue. And they did a couple practice questions just to flex the system. And it was determined at that point that everything seemed to be okay. And they said, okay, we're going to begin. And it was a timed-based trivia game with different categories. Basically, you had to get the question right, and then the faster you got the question right, you got points. Whoever had so many points, they were doing cutoffs every few rounds, and you would earn new rewards, and then you would move on to the next round with the ultimate winner receiving an Xbox Series X. So cool, fun. There was a lot of giveaways in between the beginning and the end. Obviously, probably not going to win the grand prize, but it was fun. It was all Xbox themed trivia, primarily focused on GamePass titles. So the game started up, and the first question was about Battletoads. And everything was fine. Which of these characters are not Battletoads? Got it. Second question was about Killer Instinct. Got it. Then the game crashed. That's basically where everything went downhill. So cut back to Ethan and Malik, and they're like, hey, we are really sorry. We have some major technical difficulties. We're going to pause the game. We're just going to ad-lib. And they just started talking. The chat started failing at this point. People are spamming, what's going on? Why isn't the game working? On my computer monitor, I have Twitter open, and I'm watching Twitter chat blowing up, asking questions. Why isn't it working? What's going on? I want to participate. I can't get in. My link's not working, etc. They took about a 10 or 15 minute break. Not from the show, just from the game. And they kept talking and just trying to ad-lib, talking about their favorite experiences with Xbox. And you could tell they didn't have this kind of material ready. So it was honestly two guys just kind of like, how are you? Good. How are you? It's okay. It was fun. Then they said, okay, we're gonna scrap all that. We're gonna put the game on hold. We're going to start bringing out some guests. So the first guest was Chris Money Rumble, the former Xbox FanFest guy, who has since moved on to another role within the company, which honestly I was kind of disappointed with. He was he really was great at FanFest, I thought. So maybe he saw the writing on the wall for this year's FanFest and decided to transition. Maybe he'll be back next year. It's hard to say. So they talked with him. He was basically talking about previous FanFest experiences, trying to kind of keep the time going and, keep the ball rolling, etc. Then they had on Josh Stein. Josh Stein is one of the Xbox, he's the social marketing manager, but he does a lot of the official Xbox tweets. So he came on and talked for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And then it was kind of clear that like something wasn't right. The game clearly wasn't firing back up. They had another person, Megan Spur. She's also, she works for Xbox GamePass PC. And then after her, they said, okay, we are ready to start the game again. They loaded up the game and we said, we're going to move everybody to round 4 because we were kind of running out of time. So we didn't get to see the questions for round 2 or 3. No idea what they were. So they said, okay, we're jumping around 4. We went ahead and jumped around 4 and got through the first. There were 7 questions. Everything worked fine. I didn't do so hot. My wife definitely didn't do so hot. We veered off. I only got 1 question right, and it was, 2 questions right. One of the questions was in Gears 5, where do you fight the matriarch? And it was in an ice area. And the other question I got right was what kind of the Puke from Monster Hunter World hits you with what kind of attack, and it was a poison attack. I got the other ones wrong. It was Banjo-Tooie questions. It was games I've never heard of. It was weird. I was out there, and I was like, oh, man, I'm toast. And I think only 4,000 people made it into that round because a lot of people were frustrated and quit. A lot of people gave up. A lot of people couldn't even get in. And I think I was at like rank 1,500-ish, and my wife was at like 1,600. But they were going to take the score of the next 3 rounds, and then the top 1,000 would advance. So I'm like, we still have time. We can rally. We're going to get this. Right after that, the game crashed. It never came back. They then transitioned over to Graeme Boyd, who talked with us for a while. He's a social manager at Xbox. Social marketing manager at Xbox, sorry. We had Kareem Choudry, who is the vice president of cloud gaming at Xbox. He spoke. And then at 10:37, we got a automated message that just started spamming in chat. Yes, that's right, 10:37 from Mod03. Whoever you are, Mod03, good on ya. It said, hey, FanFest community, we deeply apologize for all the technical issues. Please continue to enjoy our live stream and submit your submit your questions on the site for all our special guests. The show will go on. Enjoy the rest of the event. And then a few minutes later, that's when Ethan and Malik came out and said, game's crashed. We're not going to be able to continue on the game. Just sit back and enjoy the show. And they wrapped up with Aaron Greenberg, who is the general manager of Xbox Game Marketing. That guy is just a total character. You can't not look at that guy and smile. He's fist pumping, and he still has this shitty ass webcam, the same one that everybody made fun of at that event back in like March or April, that first Xbox reveal event where it was all grainy and he had the Xbox fridge about sitting behind him. He still has that same crappy ass camera, and he's like waving his hands and laughing, and it's like 1 frame a second. It's like it was hysterical. I don't know why this guy makes a lot of money. I don't know how much he makes, but he makes a couple bucks. Get this guy a damn webcam, will you? I'll send you mine, Aaron, if you want. I'll trade you an Xbox for my Logitech C920, bro. Okay. But he came out. It was funny. He was making jokes and talking about previous experiences and moments he remembers from FanFest. And it put a smile on my face. My wife was laughing. So he definitely lightened the mood. And then the grand finale, of course, Big Papa himself, Big Daddy Phil Spencer comes on, the head of Xbox. And he wraps up the show. And he says, basically, we don't know what we're going to do yet for your fans. But I promise you, this was a quote, I typed it. We will make this up to you who registered. I promise you. I don't know what it is yet, but we will take care of you and we will learn. So that was really cool. No idea what that means. As of right now, everybody was supposed to get a code for a Razer Kishi controller. That is the clips that go on the side of your phone. If you have an Android-based device and you are able to play Xbox Game Pass, you basically turn your phone sideways and it's a built-in controller to stream games on your phone. For those of us, myself included, who have an iPhone, doesn't do a whole lot. So there's going to be a $10 code for that coming soon. When I get it, I'll just give it away to somebody who's interested in it. If you want it, leave a comment below. I'll just send it to you when I get it. I'm not going to use it. So it's a $10 code off. I don't know what the regular MSRP on that one is. And then everybody else will be getting 5,000 Microsoft points, which is comparable to $5 on their store, which can be redeemed for credit towards GamePass or a game or code or just other physical merchandise that they have, shirts, hats, jackets, whatever. Plus whatever Phil may or may not have alluded to. So there's still a big prize pool of stuff out there. There's still a lot of stuff that they were teasing. Game Pass Ultimate codes and Series X and other hardware. They had a set of SteelSeries headphones. I think there was a hard drive on there. So more to follow. But I want to do this video because I am seeing the litany of negativity just flowing through. And I know I did start off this video by praising it, and then I kind of broke it down line by line, and I did call it a shit show. And let's be honest, it was. Event Core, who is the one who's supposed to be sponsoring the survey side of, or the trivia side of things, crashed. That's technically really not Microsoft's fault, but I will say Microsoft, as large as the company as you guys are, who probably has a software engineer or two floating around, considering just about everything on my computer is Microsoft. You guys could do better. Don't sub this stuff out. Just do it yourself and do it right. Take your time, do it right. We saw a very basic version of this back when Mixer existed. Major Nelson did a little game show with it. They only used it one time, and it worked fine. So they really need to just invest. If this is the route they want to take, just take your time and do it right. But that's okay. It was fun. I listed off the who's who of everybody was there, and there were some really high profile Xbox people there. That was cool to hear from Graeme and Aaron and Phil, and they were taking questions from the chat, although it was almost impossible to read. But they were interacting with the fans and laughing about it, and they're humans too. They're not pretending like nothing was wrong. They weren't stone-faced. They were laughing, having fun. And, you know, the fact that they're willing to do any of this for fans is really cool. And the fact that they invested a significant amount of money, and I suspect they're going to give everybody probably a code to Game Pass, or some sort of gift card online or credit to something as kind of a sorry. But they don't have to apologize to people like me. You know, I'm a fan. And I was just happy to be here and enjoy the event. But you want to give me stuff, I'll take it. I mean, I'm looking at Twitch. I'm looking at all these press people getting Xbox consoles and PlayStation 5 consoles. You know, I'm the fans. I'm the guy that's keeping Microsoft going. I'm spending a lot of money on you guys. I'm spending a lot of money on PlayStation. So take care of me. And I don't mean me, Jim. I mean just the fans. You know, that's really what you need to do. You need to give back to the people. And it sounds like they're aware of that. So whenever I hear anything, if there's any major news or emails, it'll probably be all over social media. If it warrants another video, I'll do one later. But I wanted to do one now just kind of as a recap of FanFest, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Hope you guys found this video informative. And if you didn't register for FanFest, you should have. And I don't say that because, like, how dare you? But, you know, Microsoft puts a lot of their own money, and in this case, reputation on the line for honestly not a lot of gain. So an opportunity like this doesn't come by every day, and people go, oh, that's dumb, I don't care. But, you know, being on the other side of the fence, the fact that Ethan and Malik sat there and took just a lot of verbal abuse for 2 hours and kept a smile on their face, that says a lot about the character of the company, and it's definitely a company that I think you should consider supporting. So with that, I'm closing out this video. Thank you guys so much. Take care of yourselves. Hope you enjoyed the bonus video, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.